Mr. Deputy Presiding Officer, that committee, headed by the technical advisor of the division and the curriculum coordinator, had interviews for each of the individual areas with persons in the specific fields. I am not privy to the day, the time, the venue of that consultation, but what I assume the minority leader was asking is about the public consultations, which will take place in phase 2. Wasn't that what you were asking about? Public consultation? Public consultation will take place in phase 2. Thank you, Mr. Deputy Presiding Officer.
So, Mr. Deputy Presiding Officer, so we are developing this Tobago-centric curriculum. And we are told of a first phase that would create the curriculum, the proposed draft curriculum. And what I'm hearing is the secretary telling me that in drafting the curriculum, Tobagonians, the layman, the average Tobagonian, have not yet been consulted?
Mr. Deputy Presiding Officer, I never said that they drafted the curriculum. I said that the committee sat to build out the framework of. So you build out a framework, you consult, and then you draft. Thank you, Mr. Deputy Presiding Officer.
So building out this framework, who are they speaking to?
Member Scarborough Mount Grace, that is the third follow-up of his 3. Please be guided. Member for Darrell Springwood.
No decorum. Mr. Deputy Presiding Officer, all I want to know is, because if you're building a house and you put up, you must talk to the people who you're building the house for. And all I want to know is, if you're creating a framework, have you spoken to the people of Tobago?
Thank you, Mr. Deputy Presiding Officer. The curriculum committee members are the people of Tobago. Mr. Deputy Presiding Officer, the division did not develop this curriculum committee from internal members of the division. We deliberately went out into the Tobago space and members of the diaspora to build out the committee because they are actually members of the island of Tobago who are experts in the field coming with that knowledge to draft this thing. So you are asking if we consulted with people, but the people we have brought in are the actual people living, breathing the thing that will come to the table as experts in their individual fields, so we can then build that framework to then go to the wider public. Had we sat with actual internal members of the division, then we would have had to go out and get that public consultation that I think you are quoting on, what I'm speaking to as to the phase 2. But because we've done it in this untraditional way, where we ask members of the public, recommend who is the best person you think that can speak to linguistics, and several names came up, and then the public again came in and zeroed in, right? Who in history, politics, food security, a public selection process. The division didn't sit down and do it internally. We spent about 2 months fine-tuning the experts in Tobago, resident in Tobago and abroad, as Tobagonians, to sit and build this framework out. So I do not understand the genesis of your question, Mr. Minority Leader.
Secretary, we only have 3 more minutes of questions.
I am finished. Deputy Presiding Officer.
Don't shoot the messenger, asking for the people.
Member for Darrell Springwim, I'm on the floor. I think what the minority leader is asking is for the names of those persons. So if you could just furnish him with those names in writing, that would be good.
In writing?
Yeah, could you furnish him now?
One second, Mr. Presiding Officer.
Mr. Deputy, we're good enough.
You're good?
Yeah.
I will. Yeah. Member for Bethesda Lesotho.
Yes.
It's no longer necessary. The minority leader says it's okay.
Wow. That is with teacher.